government background. And we were in LA County, and we were constantly talking about the upcoming loss of jobs due to automation, 40 million jobs. So let that sink in. That's more than the population of the state of California by 2025. So everybody was talking about it, but there was no action happening. And I was in charge of all of Southern California from Kern County to Mexico. And it was really frustrating to me to get all these people together and nobody creating programs. So I decided to get into the education side and focus on students who were in economically impacted areas where they were less likely to be exposed to tech careers. And that was the seed for starting the Autonomy Foundation. We're finishing our second year at Anaheim Union High School District. We're expanding to several other districts in the fall. And I just wanted to go over quickly how we focused our drone education programs. We're an after school or a weekend program. Right, arrow? Okay. So all of our programs focus on developing employability skills, critical thinking, entrepreneurship skills, plus introduction to the technology. And the reason that I chose drones was because it's kind of like the Harry Potter sorting hat. It's a sexy technology. All the kids want to play with them and use them. And it helps us figure out each individual student's likes and skills, whether they want to go into software development, technology design, marketing, videography. There's a whole variety of jobs that are possible. So we've identified over 160 job openings, types of jobs in different industries that require the skills that a drone operator would have. So there's a lot of exciting expansion here. Our programs are not solely geared towards having somebody become an FAA pilot, but geared towards expanding a student's exposure to technology and get them excited so that they either go on to community college or college level courses to develop their career path that they've decided is going to fit for them. Our entrepreneurship topics at the high school level, we make the students come up with a business plan in 45 minutes. And some of the most remarkable things come out of these students. We had students that came up with ideas like how to sniff bombs out, landmines out with drones so that they'd risk fewer personnel. And she had figured out an entire budget, which is actually realistic. She figured out how many people she would need, how she would have to raise capitals because she realized governments would be paying her bills and that they were slow to pay. And this kid was a junior. It was pretty astounding. Another one wanted to go and survey the homeless population for safety checks and also to help with the census taking that happens every year in the homeless population because that was her experience. She had volunteered for the city of Anaheim. Just astounding ideas that come out of these students and very inspiring. We try to connect all of our programs with the career pathways. So if a school has a focus on engineering, then we'll work on the engineering. If they have a focus on health, then we'll gear autonomous coding towards that. Or if it's IT and cybersecurity, then we'll focus the program towards that end. So our milestones over the last 2 years, just in the one school district, and we also do workforce development training in LA County. 320 students have completed the courses, which is a pretty high amount. We limit our cohorts to 20 students. We provide 1 drone per 4 students and have them work cooperatively to figure out their tasks and how to accomplish their goals. We've had 22 teachers trained. Our goal is not that we're going to be the sole provider of this education. Our goal is to get this type of program into the schools and work with those districts to get them into the mindset that they're going to get a program certified for regular accredited courses. And tell them we're the after school exciting extra that keeps the students going. And so at the finish of our second year, we're working closely with the high schools to develop this accredited program that they will incorporate into their regular school day, hopefully in the end of next year. These are all the K to 12 focus programs. Right now we're solely in middle and high school. We hope to start elementary school next fall. I've got 2 districts that are clamoring for it, and now it's just a matter of figuring out how we'll handle the logistics, because we need to have schoolroom teachers working with us. Every class that we teach, there are 3 to 5 teachers from the school who also learn along with the students on the first semester. The second semester, we expect them to co-teach with us, and the third semester, we observe while they teach and encourage them to develop their own variations on the program. And we've had some very exciting results. And that's what we would consider the professional development programs, and these school districts are actually using professional development funding to pay their teachers to learn how to do this. So right now, our drone training programs, the intro to drones and coding is largely at middle school level. They learn how to code a routine for their final, where they have to be able to fly multiple drones on a single piece of coding. And they get the whole semester to learn enough coding to be able to do that for the final. The engineering and drone projects, we had some really exciting projects this year. One middle school, the students had adopted as a school-wide project, a capstone project, to come up with some solutions for the disappearance of honeybees. And so they created a prototype of a pollinating drone. And they spent this whole semester developing ideas on how they could collect the pollen and disseminate it. They had to do a lot of engineering, because they had to figure out how much of a load a drone could carry, what kind of mechanism would collect the pollen and release it simply, how accurate and how many drones you'd have to fly in the short amount of time that the batteries would last to pollinate a whole field or an orchard and be effective. Because honeybees are they can go to different flowers as they get to them. Programming a drone to do that is a lot more complicated. But these kids came up with a whole mechanism for doing it and figured out what they had done wrong and what they needed to improve in their equipment. So it was a great engineering and research project for them. Then we have advanced flight. A lot of the advanced flight focuses on logistics and search and rescue. The FAA pilot prep course is the Part 107 preparation, and we actually get them prepared so that when they exit that course, then they can go and get their pilot license. Then we also have a Train the Trainer program, where if a school district doesn't have the time to have us in there, or they don't have a budget, then we can arrange to do a full training program for the cohort of teachers who are going to do a program in their school and teach them how to integrate drones into their programming. And then we also are working on custom career pathway programs. For instance, one school district we're working with is creating an engineering bridge program, and they want to use the drones to calculate how they're going to collect the data for the infrastructure building. So they're going to use little toy drones, and the bridges, and it's for a national competition. The bridges are going to be 4 feet long by a couple feet high, so the drones are going to be really tiny ones that they're going to use to collect the data. But that's a program that we will be implementing in the fall. So we're open to creating any kind of course a school needs or wants to focus on. The first high school we went into, it's mostly focused on cybersecurity and IT issues. So that was what determined that form of curriculum. But that's it. And this is my information. If you have any questions or you'd like to talk about how we develop our programs and how we can collaborate with you, our goal is not so much that we're the big empire teaching drones, but that we get the drones into every school.